Artanis is a Protoss-flavored bruiser that favors aggression and generally hitting the opponent. He's alright in the 1v1 and his ability combo makes for a strong pick, so he can play with the team just as fine. He's pretty durable, so when in team fights he acts as a good front line, and with the right talents can be kinda hard to put down. Like Olarak, he isn't reliant on the combo to do good, but it's a consistent way to play with extremely good results when it's refined. Must be a consistent thing with the Protoss, right, Phoenix? Anyway, his trait is the important aspect of shaping the aggressive part of his playstyle. It gives him a shield when he takes damage below 75% health, and its cooldown can be reduced with basic attacks. Talents can add to this. The notable talents are anything that reduces the cooldown, like Shield Battery or Force of Will, and anything that adds effects, like Phase Bulwark or Plasma Burn. Not a bad ability by any means, and I think it's a good idea to incentivize playing aggressive, possibly a little too reliant on basic attacks specifically. Artanis' Q is a weird ability, but it's where a lot of creativity in his combo comes from. It's a dash that goes out and deals damage in a small AoE around him while it's active, and then he dashes back, dealing triple damage in the same surrounding small AoE back to the initial cast position. It's weird in that it's a gap closer that doesn't close the gap at all by itself. Like, it gets him in, but he just leaves if it's not interrupted. This obviously has some pros and cons when it comes to certain situations in game. Let's say you need to dive an extremely low health hero and get back out before the towers kill you. In this instance, it's good to have a dash in and then be forced to get out, though maybe not as good as a dash that resets on kill. It doesn't have many talents, and generally they're just okay, only because Artanis is going to have to start using basic attacks eventually, so it's better to improve those than the few spells with damage instead. It's also only one half of the combo, so I'll leave the explanation of how it synergizes well with his kit when I get to the second ability. Artanis' W is pretty straightforward in that he activates it to dash a short distance and attack twice once he reaches the target. It's a pretty effective animation cancel if he's already point blank to the target he wants to hit, so he can get a lot out of basic attacks in a short period. The dash isn't that significant, so he can't start at the front line and immediately dash to a backline target once the fight starts, at least not without the Storm talent that increases range. When building for this ability, Artanis ends up as more of a duelist than a durable fighter, and needs to play more carefully at the benefit of being able to melt through health bars with the right combo. He can even 1v1 most, if not all, tanks in the game when fully built for Twin Blades. Notable talents for this are Triple Strike, which the additional attack helps with his trait greatly, and Titan Killer, which, combined with Triple Strike, makes for an extremely high damage burst against high health characters. His E is a short-range skill shot that will switch Artanis and the first target hit upon landing. This is the other half of his ability combo used in tandem with his Q in order to get into the backline and force a backline hero into his team simultaneously. It's a really solid ability to work with since it's a pick displacement, and with his above average durability, he can possibly take out one hero with him just fighting in the back of the opponent's team. Without any further crowd control, it's a little hard to stay on any heroes that don't want Artanis metaphorically breathing down their necks. The talents don't help with his general game plan too much, but Psionic Synergy can help him survive when he lands it, and Graviton Vortex helps, in theory, to make it more often, but it's the same level as the talent that reduces the Blade Dash cooldown, so kind of a miss there. Artanis' first ult is Suppression Pulse, which is a massive AoE blind for 4 seconds anywhere on the map. It's pretty alright, even though the utility of it is pretty limited. The biggest strength is in its unlimited range, and since it has a little damage added on, Artanis can interrupt channeled objectives from anywhere. The usefulness of the blind scales with how much the opponents want to land basic attacks, so that'll vary greatly. The cooldown is pretty low, so it's kinda spammable for the start of fights. His other ultimate is a beam that follows the target hero for 8 seconds, which does solid damage, but it's easy to outrun. It also has unlimited cast range, so he can do the whole objective interruption thing with this too, but it's only better than Suppression Pulse if there's only one opponent near it. Most of the time it won't put in a lot of work without a chain CC tank that can keep them in place for a couple seconds. The Storm talent for it makes it move faster, so it can do a smidge more damage guaranteed. And the auto recast on kill or whatever. In conclusion, the guy's alright. Solid playmaker for a pick style, and he can take a beating when the scrapping starts. I don't hate him, and his design is pretty synergistic, so he definitely doesn't highlight the worst in this game necessarily, but he is designed to be a stat stick somewhat, so you know it can only be so bad.